with my clip.
So, am I the best DC Universe Online player ever to have played the game? Is Orbit the greatest character, the strongest character on DC Universe Online? Well, the short answer, guys, is no, of course not. And I've never once believed that I was the strongest or was the best. And you'll find that across all 600 and whatever videos I've posted, that I have never said I am the best. So who is the best? Well, let me tell you this, guys. It's not me. It's not you either. And it's not your friends. It's no one in your league. It's not your girlfriend if she plays. It's nobody. You can't decide who is the best on this game. There's such a vague question, which is why I hate, you know, people saying what is the best, you know, what is the best this, what is the best that. It's very difficult to kind of answer that question. The game in its current state and how it runs, they've got certain weapons and certain powers which are overpowered. You know, for example, a while ago they had Quantum, which they had the time bomb bug, and load of people switched to Quantum to try and be the best, to try and be on top of that scoreboard. But just because they're using that OP power with bugged damage, does that make them the best? Well, in my eyes, no, it doesn't, because they're just using a, at the time, stronger power. You know, how many Quantum DPSs can keep up with, you know, let's say sorcery nowadays? Not many, no one actually, because sorcery is very, very strong right now, and lots of people will switch to I'm talking PvE, and lots of people will switch to these different powers depending on what the current state is of the game, but that doesn't necessarily make them the best. Even the best YouTuber, if you want to say, well, you're not the best player, but you are the best YouTuber, I would disagree with you on that one as well, because that's all down to personal preference. You know, lots of people do like me, and lots of people do say I am their favourite YouTuber or the best YouTuber, but lots of people disagree at the same time. Now, I would, however, consider myself a very good player. Not the best, but a very good player. And let me tell you why I think that. Basically, what I do, and, you know, some people might have some similar theories to this. I split into two categories, right? We've got a strong or weak character first. So if you look at Orbit the character, strong or weak in terms of gear and skill points? Strong, right? Okay, he's got a high amount of skill points. Best, like very, very good gear. So that'd be an example of a strong character, you know, regardless of how good I am as a player. So it's a strong character. On the flip side, you've got weak characters, maybe a fresh level 30, someone who hasn't got the best gear, not been farming their skill points, that kind of stuff. That'd be like a weaker character. So first I split them into, is your character strong or weak, regardless of how good you actually are. Then we go on to how good you actually are. Okay, as a player, as a person behind the controller, and there's a lot of different ways you can go about that. And the way I, you know, think of a good player behind the controller to you guys might be different. So here's what I think anyway. I go on like survivability, how good you are tactically, and that kind of stuff in terms of how good you are as a player. I'll give you an example of that. A PvP example would be, you know, a bad player would be on a node, you're losing on points, and that person would run off of the node to go and attack somebody so they finish top of the scoreboard, you know, at the end, and they look good. That for me isn't a bad player, because they're only thinking about themselves. And that's no one that I would like in my league, for example. On the flip side, you know, a good player would do the opposite to that. Okay, that's a PvP example. A PvE example, I don't know, let's think of a PvE example. Right, the boss mechanics. You have got now the skull, which appears above some of the boss's head, and they've got certain special attacks which you need to avoid or do certain things for. In the most recent one, you've got in the Cathedral Elite Alert Operation, whatever it is. At the end, Raven has the skull above the head, and you've got to do no damage, otherwise it reflects it back to you and kills you, yeah? The bad player, even though they know that, they'll still hit the shield, and it will still kill them and consistently kill them. I'm not talking about once every now and again, because we all get caught with different stuff, but consistently will die. And do you know what I mean? Stuff like the boss, One Piece feat, right? The One Piece feat. How many times? It doesn't matter how strong your group is. If your group is not switched on, if you don't have a good team, not in terms of gear, but in terms of just being able to fucking block when they need to block and just use their common sense, you're not going to be able to do that feat. So for me, a good player is somebody who is very good at communicating, can listen, can follow instructions, can, you know, just a switched on player. It's not rocket science, is it, some of this stuff? Let's be honest. A bad player, you know, we've already gone through that, just doesn't listen. And what I do is I take them both into consideration. So a very good player would be somebody who is switched on, they know what they're doing, very good at communication, and of course they've got very, very good gear as well. That's a top player, yeah? Top player. And, you know, a very bad player would be someone at a fresh level 30 who isn't switched on, poor communication. Do you see what I'm saying? You can get a mixture of the two. So you could get someone with very, very good gear, but who doesn't, you know, who's not paying attention. Equally, you can have, maybe you've got an ult and you've leveled that up and you haven't got very good gear, but you're switched on, you know what you're doing, so you're still a good player, but you're not a top player because you still need the gear to be able to do that. So that being said, taking that into consideration, I would consider myself as a very good player. Okay, but not the best, because like I said, there's no way of telling the best for the reasons which I gave to you at the start. That being said, guys, I hope that kind of makes sense. That all makes sense to me, because I've been following that kind of a system for recruiting. So, you know, if you come to me and you say, can I join Gravity, la 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 la, and I don't know you, you can tell me your gear, you can show me that you are a very strong player, but you can't show me that you're a good player, someone who's switched on and knows what they're talking about. And to be honest, you know, I'm a YouTuber, I've got this, that and the other going on, I haven't got time to go out my way to kind of see that. So you've got to go out and show guys, just show people what you're made of. And that's what I've done on my YouTube channel, which ultimately, I suppose, has given the impression that I think I am the best, think I am this god, the almighty Orbit. But like I said, guys, I don't, absolutely not at all. I'm a successful DC Universe Online YouTuber that posts entertaining videos, and that's what I am. If you like that, then subscribe, and that's that. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Niggas tryna act like Jesus. Got